One of the issues whenever you get an idea for a book is how to picture the idea. And probably going back a couple of books, I did a book called Nobody Owns the Moon, which used a lot of sort of handmade collage, some photographic, some painted, some drawn, things like that. And I guess the idea of that was to create a kind of multimedia image or multimedia world that seemed to replicate our own reality, which is multimedia. You know, you've got timber floors and glass windows and concrete and carpet and all this media. You know, the whole world just isn't made out of plaster or wood or something like that. And so I like that idea of collage, giving it that extra reality. And so when I came to Unforgotten, I guess I was interested in that technique, but also I guess I felt photography was going to be a really good way to develop the reality for the book. I felt it was really important for the world in the book to feel quite dimensional and real and habitable for a reader, and that meant carefully assembling images that gave the world depth and that made you feel that you could walk down one of the streets and go around the corner and there'd be more of it going off and on beyond the edges of the page. Photography was really good for that because you could, in a way, you could sort of scout for locations to set scenes, and then you could scout for urban details or whatever details you needed to then become collage elements that you could place in the world, and then if I wanted to put my angels in, I could sketch them and put them in the world, and then all kinds of people as well, and slowly build up a world out of all these different things. The other side to that was I was using photos that had been taken from pretty much the beginning of the history of photography, so it helped in that way to show a world that was made up of the past, the present, and possibly, you know, there's something even slightly futuristic about some of it, but I wanted that idea of time and place to be sort of compressed into a single world so that you felt some kind of universality about it and about the idea for the world and for the story. So that led me to taking probably of my own photos, about 2,000 photos for the book, but also searching digital libraries around the world and building up vast archives of photos that I would then use wherever needed. And it included taking lots of photos of skies, of clouds, buildings, people, anything I needed, you know, roundabout signs, fire hydrants, just all these things. And often I'd be working on a picture and I think, gee, I need an old pair of shoes. So I'd go down to the local op shop and take a photo of an old pair of shoes, and then they would go into the picture. One of the things, though, that when you make collage, especially with quite disparate elements, like maybe from a black and white photo and from a colour photo and from different photos created from different technologies like daguerreotype or whatever else, you need to work out how to make the image cohere all those parts. And so I spent probably about a month developing sort of effects that I would apply globally to those images to make them look sort of like a singular coherent image. And that involved you know, taking a little bit of the colour out if they were too colourful, and overlaying certain effects that affected each element so that they all sort of would go a certain tone or have certain scratchiness or whatever. But putting those global effects onto it was probably what made the images then all hang together, and then those effects were also applied more or less globally throughout the book so that you feel that all the images belong together in the book as well. And if you were to take those effects off, you'd be quite surprised how the photos, the collages need those effects to sort of hang together effectively.